All right, so as we get settled, let's go ahead and take a moment to move to our mats, to sit up on any sort of props, pillows, blankets. I always encourage sitting on something because it helps us to sit a little taller, to pull our shoulders back, and to really lift the heart upward. And then as you find that space, when you're ready, you can allow the eyes to close. Maybe as you close your eyes, you might need to feel around. How can I move to make myself more comfortable, a little more balanced and centered? So we want to feel like we're not leaning too far forwards or too far backwards. Maybe bringing a little awareness to the two sit bones, left and right, and just seeing if you can ground down between both sides of the body. And then feeling the bottom half of the body as it grounds down into the earth, and feel the crown of the head as it just draws upwards towards the sun, towards the light. So maybe feeling the body with the elements of a tree, like the roots coming from the base, and like the branches reaching out and up towards the light, towards that source. And take a moment to just feel yourself in the nature of that, rooting to rise, connected to what is beneath you. And through that connection, through that solid foundation, we're able to then grow and expand. But if we, excuse me, if we don't have that connection, then we might find ourselves sort of blowing around, flowing in all different directions. Our energy is scattered. So just take a moment to see what you feel, to notice what you notice, and just to be with your body, your breath. Observe any thoughts that come to mind, any emotions that you're feeling, any sensations, any feeling. Ram Dass, in one of his talks, would talk about how this is all our practice, how all of our life, every encounter, everything that we go through is part of our curriculum. It's part of our curriculum for awakening. So it's not, oh, I could do this only if things were different, only if I had more time, only if I didn't feel this way in my physical body. But instead, shifting our awareness to this understanding that every single part and particle of our experience is an opportunity to tune more into the present moment, to the compassion, to the awareness, and to the oneness of all that is. Let's bring the fingertips just to touch the earth next to our hips. So we've got the fingertips on the ground. We're pulling the palms slightly up and the shoulders back. So there's this little lift in the heart, a little tuck in the chin. And just feel the breath in this space. Notice, does it go beyond the chest? Does it go beyond the ribs? Does it make its way down to your belly? And we just put a little bit of effort into really allowing the breath to move all the way down into the body. The longer that each breath is in within us, the more time it has to nourish all of the cells, all of the tissues. We can keep our eyes closed, and as you inhale, circle the arms out and up, flip your palms to the sky. As you exhale, bend your elbows, open your heart. As you inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, side body stretch, right hand down, left arm reaching up and over. Just go a little bit with the breath here as we inhale, rise to center. Exhale, bend your elbows, open your heart. Inhale, arms to the sky. Exhale, left hand down, right arm reaches. Inhale, rise to center. Elbows bend, heart opens. Arms rise, sit bones root. Breathe in and reach. Seated twist to the right, right hand behind you, left hand to right knee. Stay in the twist, press down into your sit bones, sit up nice and tall. See if you can soften that back shoulder, soften your right shoulder just a little bit, and then start to drop your right ear towards your right shoulder. And very slowly just start to lift and lower your chin and draw circles through the head and the neck, perhaps feeling and facilitating some opening along the left side of the neck. And then within that space where the ear is dropping down towards the shoulder, and take a moment and navigate yourself into a place where there's the ability to just process in stillness. So invite yourself into a space where you feel some sensation, where then you can scan your body and notice if you can soften. Is that right hip clenching upwards? Can you soften your jaw? Be in that dance, that space, that awareness between effort and ease. Let's bring the head back to upright. We'll unwind from that twist, come forward, reach up, inhale. We'll take a forward fold over, cross legs, hands to the ground, and then stretch your arms forward and just fold to your degree. Maybe that means your forehead comes down. Maybe you come up onto your elbows. Just take a moment as you settle into a stretch, just to allow your body to soften and process, to feel. Let our practice be one that is of observation rather than any judgment or resistance. Just notice your mind, practice compassion during this time. Slowly start to walk your hands in towards you till they come towards the feet and the shins. Use that to switch the crisscross of your legs. Bring your fingertips back to the earth next to your hips. Outside the legs. Good. Tuck the chin slightly in towards the chest. Lift the heart. And as you inhale, circle the arms out and up. As you exhale, bend your elbows, open your heart. Arms rise, sit bones root. Inhale, reach. Side body stretch, right hand down, left arm reaches. Back to center, inhale. Other side, root the left hand to the earth, reach through your right fingertips. Back to center, inhale. Seated twist to the left hand behind you, right hand to left knee. Ground down into the earth, sit up nice and tall, and see if you can soften your left shoulder. So if we're pressing too much through that back hand, that shoulder might be buckling inward. See if you can soften and roll it back. Find length that is your spine from the tailbone all the way through the back of the neck and out the crown of the head. And begin to drop the left ear, towards left shoulder. And then start to move a little bit through your chin. Lift and lower the chin. Circle out through the head and the neck. Welcome the breath into the sensation. Welcome your awareness into your body. It's typical for the awareness to be stuck on all of the things, all of the stuff, all of the stories in our mind. Welcome it into your body. Just to feeling the present moment. Let all the experiences, all the adaptations that you're being asked to make, just be a part of the curriculum. Then find a place to be still as you're dropping your left ear towards your left shoulder. Find a place to pause and be still. Bring your head back to upright. Now release the spine, circle out and up with the arms. Inhale. One more forward fold over these crossed legs. Exhale, come down. This time, crawl your hands out a little bit so that you've got wide palms from left to right. And then just start to sway a little towards the left and a little towards the right. As you lean in one direction, you might feel the stretch in the opposite side of the low back or the outer ribs. Just invite yourself in to feel. And come back to the center of that fold. You'll find a lift in your heart as much as you need to roll over your shins and come around to child's pose. Making the shift from the bottom down to child's pose. Let's take a moment and bring our knees together as we're in this child's pose and our toes together. So we're nice and narrow. Bring your bottom down to your heels, bring your forehead down, and then reach your hands so that they're back towards your feet and your palms are facing upwards. Receive a couple breaths in this space. As the legs press into the abdominal organs, there's this detoxifying, this massaging, this awakening. Can you soften? We hold so much tension in the head, the neck, and the shoulders, maybe making it the practice to, from pose to pose, from shape to shape, to check in with these places and just see, how can I relax? Cultivate awareness. Our legs are still relatively close. We start to slide our hands all the way forward to the top of the mat. And then we're rising to the hands and the knees. Right in tabletop, extend your right leg back, tuck your toes under, and just start to press your heel back and then roll up and onto the ball of your foot. And do that a couple times, just stretching through the back of that right leg. Do it with your breath. So although we're not in the room together and we can't hear each other's breath, as you're in your space, can you hear your own breath? We've got the weight coming forward towards the toes, the ball of the foot. We're gonna pick our right foot up, cross it all the way to the left off the mat, and tuck the toes under there. Look in front of your left arm and then back towards that right foot. Press into your right hand a lot and breathe into the right side of your body. Just take it as a time to settle into that awareness. Feel the breath. Start to lift those right toes up. Bring the right knee back to meet the left. Knees are touching or close or narrow. Extend your left leg back, tuck the toes under. Start to press the weight back. As you press the heel back, you feel that stretch in your calf and then rolling the weight forward, sort of opening all of the tendons and ligaments through the foot. And then as the weight rolls forward, the left foot becomes light on the earth. Pick the foot up, cross it all the way to the right off the mat. Tuck the toes under and then bring your gaze in front of your right arm and back towards your left foot that is now reaching to the right. Press a lot through your left hand and just see if you can feel the lift and the opening through the left side of the body. Keeping the intercostal muscles that are the muscles that hold the rib cage together, keeping them soft and supple, open and flexible so that our breath can remain full and deep. Start to lighten up on that left foot, peel the toes up and bring the knee all the way back. Now let's separate the knees a little more and go real simple cow pose as we inhale. Cat pose as we exhale. See if we can go together, keeping the breath slow. Cow pose as we inhale. Cat pose as we exhale. So remember, the breath is like a snake rather than a frog. Breath into cow pose. Breath out to cat pose. Into cow pose. Toes are tucked out to downward facing dog. Maybe lifting your hips up and back if that's something that feels appropriate in your body and your practice today. Find downward facing dog and just pedal out your feet, lift and lower your heels. Again, reminding yourself to be in that space of acceptance of the awareness, as well as dancing, weaving in effort and ease. Put a little lift in our heels, a little bend in our knees, look to your hands, walk all the way up, forward fold. Soften into your fold, bring your hands up to opposite elbows so your forearms are crossing or together. And then start to just shift the weight, heels, balls of the feet. So how does it feel to press back into your heels and your sit bones? And then to lean just a bit forward into the balls of the feet as you let your head hang down. Release the hands so they're now hanging down towards the earth or touching the earth. And with an inhale together, we lift halfway, extending the spine. And we exhale, fold, heart down to the earth. All the way up to standing, circle your arms out and up. Inhale, rise up, reach up. Exhale, bend your elbows and arch your spine as much as it feels comfortable for you this morning. Pause there for a moment, lifting the light of the heart up. Reach your arms to the sky. Inhale. Left hand around right wrist, lean to the left. Exhale. Pause there for a moment. You're rooting down through that opposite foot. So as the arms reach left, the foot roots right. Come back to center. Switch hands, right hand around left wrist and lean right. Press down into your left foot. Come back to center, inhale. One more time, we bend our elbows and we lift from the center of the heart, from the sternum. Maybe arching our spine just a bit. Inhale, reach up. Palms together, bow to the earth, fold. Take a half lift, lengthen the spine, pull your shoulders back, inhale. Exhale, fold, hands on the earth, our left foot steps back, the knee lowers down, arms rise up, low lunge, inhale. Exhale, elbows bend, heart opens. Just using this shape to pass through. Inhale, arms rise up, reach up, palms touch. Lowering the hands through the midline, all the way till they come to the right leg, split them over the leg, bring them down to the earth and step back, plank. Pause and plank. Find a breath in. Exhale, lower down. Sphinx pose, forearms on the ground, hands straight out, shoulders and elbows lined up. Press down and lift your heart. Press down through your hips, and you can notice how that might help elongate your low back. So you're pressing your hips down into the earth, and then can you soften your glutes just a little bit? Now look at your elbows. So look down and inwards towards yourself. Look at your right elbow. Place your right hand where your right elbow was. Look at your left elbow. Place your left hand where your elbow was. Hug your elbows now into your ribs and lift your heart, cobra pose. Good. Pull your shoulders back. Exhale, lower down. Downward facing dog. Find balance in your hands, in your breath. Bring your big toes to touch. Lift your left leg to the sky. Bend your knee, open your hip. Know that this is accessible in tabletop if you wish. Wherever you are, maybe you start to find some movement in your left leg, in your foot, in your ankle. Re-extend that left leg up. We're in a 3-leg downward facing dog. And then bring the knee to the nose. Take your time, gently step left foot forward, right knee down, arms to rise, low lunge, inhale. Elbows bend, heart opens, exhale. Arms rise, reach up, breath in, palms touch. Hands through the midline till they come all the way to the left leg, over the leg, down to the earth, back knee up, top of the mat, we fold. Halfway lift, bring your hands together behind your back or reach for your strap or your towel. And then fold back down into this space, stretching through the shoulders. Let your head hang soft. Good, everyone. Making those adaptations, just allowing the practice to serve you. Releasing that shoulder stretch through your hands coming down. Lift again, halfway, length through that spine. Exhale, fold. All the way up with the arms, rise up, reach up. Palms touch, hands to heart. Pause for a moment in this space and just reconnect. Reconnect with the sensations in your body, with the ability to observe the mind without diving into the pool of thoughts. With the balance in your feet. From heart center, lift your arms up, open them out, big stretch, big breath. Swan dive all the way to the earth, fold. Lift halfway, inhale. Folding and stepping our right foot to the back of the mat this time. Keep the knee off the earth. We're in a lunge, left foot forward. Lining up your wrist, your elbows, and your shoulders, lifting that back heel. Inhale, straighten your left leg. Exhale, bend your left knee. Inhale, straighten your left leg. Exhale, bend your left knee. Inhale, draw it up and in, left leg straight. Exhale, bend your knee. Bring your left hand inside your left foot, walk to the long edge of your mat, walk back to your right foot. You're in a lunge with your right toes facing the short edge of the mat. You're facing the back of your mat. Inhale, right leg straight. Exhale, bend your knee. Draw the energy up and in, breath in, straighten the leg. Breath out, bend the knee. Nice and slow, breath in, straighten your right leg. Breath out, bend your knee. Bring your right hand inside your right foot, walk to the left side, and then all the way back to the left foot. Left toes facing the short edge of the mat, back heel lifted. Root your right hand down, lift your left arm up, and twist. Spread your fingers, stay in the twist, inhale. Exhale, bring your hand to your heart, look down to the earth. Inhale, open up, reach up. Exhale, hand to heart, look to the earth. Inhale, open up, reach up. Exhale, hand down inside left foot. Walk to the long edge of the mat. Walk back to the right foot. We're just going to keep going back and forth like this. Left hand roots, right arm rises. We're twisting. We're facing the back of our mat. We take an inhale. Right hand to heart, gazing to the earth. Inhale, open up, reach up. Exhale down. One more time. Inhale, open up, reach up. Exhale, right hand inside right foot. Walk to the long edge. Walk back to the left foot. In that lunge position, we rise up this time, arms to the sky. Find your footing. Take an inhale. Elbows bend, heart opens, exhale. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, bend your elbows, open your heart. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, bend your elbows. The reach up this time brings us to star pose. We're on the long edge of our mat. Lift up, inhale. Pivot so that you're towards the back of your mat. Your right toes are forward and you're in a lunge. Inhale. Exhale, elbows bend, heart opens. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, elbows bend. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, elbows bend. Star pose, long edge of the mat. Inhale. Coming into a forward fold through the long, wide legs. Exhale down. Pivot your toes so they're facing the long edge of your mat. Your heels are behind your toes and let your head hang down. And root your hands down. Take a little half lift. Walk your hands a couple inches towards the right and then bend your right knee just a little bit. Breathe into the sensation of opening through that opposite inner thigh. Start to straighten the knee, bring the hands back to center. Walk the hands a couple inches in the opposite direction and then bend through the knee. Good. Straighten both legs. Walk yourself back to the front foot, back to the left foot. Root your hands down and step back, plank pose. Find a breath in. Slowly lower down to the earth. Keep the core engaged, the navel moving towards the spine. Heart to rise, toes untuck, cobra pose. Exhale, pull your shoulders back and lower down. Press up and back, downward facing dog. About a moment of stillness, just to be in the experience, in the present moment, not doing anything else, just being here now. Good. You can lift your right leg up to the sky, bend your knee, open your hip. Move a little bit of energy, sensation through that right leg. And then noticing what's best for your body. We're gonna take pigeon pose with that right foot, or if it feels better for you to take that figure four, then lower down and come to your back. Wherever we are, we've got the right hip as the one that we're working with here. See if you can draw the weight back to the center. That notice the heaviness of the body has a tendency to sort of roll off into the right. And let's see if we can bring it back up so that we're lifting rather than lowering. Utilize your props, utilize this opportunity to be in the comfort of your home. Acknowledge and honor, give thanks to where you are in this moment. As you settle into this shape, let the stillness be more and more and more an opportunity to awaken the breath. Feel the breath as it glides and slides through the back of your throat. Nothing that we need to rush through. We're not checking these poses off. We're settling into the moment. Thanking our bodies and helping them to be strong, to maintain the life. See if you can soften the muscles on your face, your jaw. Just soften the little things like your fingers or your tongue. Maybe that awareness of softening the subtleties will help us to expand and grow more into that soft state. Another moment so that we can really ride that wave of awareness as it travels through sensation. In the stillness, take an inhale. Out the mouth. Now gently start to come back up onto our hands. We've got that right leg forward. Just let your right bottom sit off to the right. Hug your right knee in. Extend your left leg out to the left. And then fold towards your left foot. Feel these micro pulses of lengthening your spine through the inhale. Softening and folding through the exhale. Three more breaths in this fold, really reaching for that left leg, pressing out through the heel, flexing the toes, keeping all parts of the body active and engaged. And then slowly let your hands slide up your left leg. You'll just find your way to rotate back to a tabletop position. Just take a moment to move through tabletop, just that delicate shifting of the hips, the head, the neck, and the shoulders. And from tabletop, we come into pigeon pose on the second side by bringing the left knee forward, intentionally sliding the right leg back as you make that space and trying to keep the weight in the center of the body, hugging up and in rather than leaning to the left. Lower down when you're ready. And then breathe. That's the medicine. That's the healing element. That's the life. So feel that breath. Feel the softness of letting go. Notice where you might be clenching. Maybe it's just through the mind. Maybe you're clenching onto certain thoughts or stories or situations. Is there any physical resistance in your hands or your face or your jaw? Settle into the breath. Soften just a little more if you can. Be the witness. Slowly start to rise up. As we transition out of pigeon, we let the left bottom fall off to the left. We come so we're sitting towards the long edge of our mat and then fold towards your right leg. Tuck that left foot in nice and close to you and then fold towards the opposite leg. Okay, slowly start to come up and out of that fold. Then we're gonna just extend both legs forward and fold over both legs. So bring both legs long. You can turn so that you're now facing your mat in that narrow space. Press your heels away, flex your toes back and fold. You can reach maybe towards your ankles or towards your feet. See if you can bring a little length into your spine. So sort of pulling the torso up and out of the rib cage through the heart. Long breaths in and through the body. Can you fold a little more if your body is feeling it? And then we're going to rise up, all the way up, straightening our spines. And let's come all the way down to our back. Scoot your bottom a little bit forward and lower all the way down to your back. And draw your knees in towards your chest. So you're giving yourself this tight little ball squeeze. And just hold on to the body. Let's bring it into happy baby. Reach for the pinky toe sides of your feet. Turn your feet upwards and start to roll side to side. Side to side, like you're sort of like you're baking something, right? And then think that your low back is like that dough that you're trying to flatten down, rolling it upon the earth. Pulling the shoulders back. So we got to be really mindful, especially as we're here on our backs, that this lying down doesn't cause everything to round, the hips, the shoulders. We use the gravitational pull and the force and the strength of our arms to pull the upper body and the hips down in happy baby. Good. Release your hands from your feet. We'll take a different type of twist today. Bring the legs together. Take your right leg, cross it over your left. Once would bring the upper thighs together. Twice would wrap your foot behind your calf. Extend your arms out, and we'll take that unit of the legs wrapped up and drop it over to the left. Taking this nice eagle twist, Garuda. Breathe within. Developing relationship and awareness with the present moment in a way in which we can witness and offer neutral awareness, not needing to always throw our beliefs or our opinions in. Just observing. We're still in the twist, and we're going to take about 3 or so more breaths in there. See if you can drop that outer right shoulder down to the earth, feeling it in the spinal column. And then from that space, gently unwind, come back to center, uncross your legs, and then just bend and straighten your knees so that we can give the knees a little break. You straighten the feet upwards towards the sky. Maybe you want to circle out your ankles. It might feel nice. And then bend your knees. And how about we take that second side, cross your left leg over your right, and once brings the thighs together. Twice brings the foot behind the shin. And then we drop the knees over to the right. And we gaze outwards to the left. Settle into the breath. Let the body fall into a place where it can surrender into the twist, into the opening. Let the pose work with the breath, let the twist. Use the breath to expand and soften. And then from here, let's slowly start to unwind, bring the legs back to center, uncross them, and then straighten them up, and then straighten your knees, circle out your ankles. Move your legs just a bit here, extend them up and down, out and in. Maybe you roll a little bit side to side. We come into this final squeeze. Cross your right ankle over your left. Wrap your arms around your legs and hold them close so you can bring the back of your head back down to the earth. Feel the breath glide and slide through the back of your throat. Hold the body close. The pose is Apanasana. Apana is the downward flow of energy. So this is said to help us remove the excess. Maybe we're squeezing out those extra unnecessary thoughts. Maybe we're squeezing out some extra unnecessary air, gases. Lift our forehead up to our knees and squeeze the body really tight. Hold it tight, hold it tight, hold it tight. And with that out breath, release all the way down onto your back. You go. Extend your legs out. We're walking towards that final resting pose. Palms are face up with the hands. Toes sort of fall open and out. Breath is the ally, but can we just witness it? It's like if we just know that it's close without clinging, observe it. See how relaxed, how much you can release. Thoughts may come and thoughts may go. Can you soften your face? With all of the movement around you, the world continues to turn. Just soften. Start to wiggle just your toes. Just your toes. See how that feels to bring consciousness just to your toes. And then feel the energy of the toes start to help the fingers to move. And then just feel the life of the body start to expand. Maybe the arms are reaching. Big stretch. And draw the knees in towards you. Lift your head. Give yourself a squeeze. Tell your body, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. And slowly roll to either side and press yourself up and around. Let's take a seat and just sit for a moment of meditation. Pull our shoulders back and close our eyes. Let's lift our hearts and just become aware of this peace. And can we do our best to remember this throughout our day, our interactions, throughout all of the events and the conversations and the stressors that arise? Can we remember to come back to the space of trust and loving awareness? Be one with all that is. Bring your palms together in front of your heart. Feel the elevation of the heart, the bowing of the head. The simple gesture just representing, allowing the energies of the heart to rise and to surrender the mind into that space of love. May our practice be an opportunity to come home to ourselves, home to our body, our breath, and the awareness that all is one. Namaste. Namaste, everybody.